We live in the building. And back to what I was saying, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, rest in peace to the ancestor. And for those of you who don't know who Marcus Garvey is, if you don't know, if 2018 you don't know who Marcus Garvey is, do yourself a favor. I'm not going to say slap yourself. I'm not going to say that at all, but you definitely got to get a book. Get a book, find a book somewhere, read it on the Honorable Marcus Garvey. He's one of the greatest, you know what I'm saying, liberators of all time. The greatest. I mean, he really, truly had a heart for the people. And that's something that I don't take lightly myself, because I have a heart for my people and you all are my people. And so we really have to start getting out that mindset of individualism, thinking that we can win and do all these things by ourselves. I had that mentality for a very long time, but that was by default to the situation. I just, you know, coming from the hood and single parent home, I didn't have that help, so I was forced to really think I was on my own. Always forced to think you're on your own, and that's what the system wants us to think, that we are on our own, when it's really, that's not the case. There's plenty of help out there for us, plenty of help out there if we apply ourselves and get with people that have like minds and want to see us win, want to see us victorious. They want to see us being a blessing to one another. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of people you want to surround yourself with. I just met a woman. Her name is Betty. I don't know if she follows me on Facebook or not, but I just met her about, I'll say a month ago, at the virtual Black Wall Street event they had in Cascade, Atlanta. And the woman, she was, I met her at the end of the event, and she said something, to me that caught me off guard, and she asked me, do I know about the frequencies in the atmosphere? And I had no idea what she was talking about. I've heard of it, but I wasn't really clear on what she was referring to as far as the frequencies in the atmosphere. But she was telling me that, certain frequencies controls the population. I think she used the number 44 or something like that, and some churches know about it, some churches don't. But churches, the public, they use this. They use the frequencies to manipulate people. You know what I'm saying? When you go to stores, when you go to church, when you in school, there's different sounds. And when she told me that, I automatically thought about something called acousticology. Acousticology is like the study of sound, the science of sound. And there was a civilization back in the day, don't remember exactly where. There's an ancient civilization, and somehow a tomb was discovered, right? I got a point to where I'm going with this, but you guys want to listen to this. They have found this tomb, and inside of the tomb, they were able to determine that the people that were there had passed away or were deceased because of when they walked into the tomb, and you can hear the echo, and there's just a bunch of bones everywhere. Like, just imagine that. You walk into a chamber, underground chamber, and there's bones everywhere. There's just no signs of foul play. There's no signs of weapons, just a bunch of bodies, bones all over the ground. This place has been shut for hundreds of years. They're really not sure how long ago it was. But they did notice one thing in particular, is that the area, the place, it had a huge echo, and you can feel the vibrations in the body. Literally feel the vibrations in the body. And at the time and this woman didn't tell me this, but when she told me about the frequencies and this documentary that I watched, now it made sense that people can be manipulated through the frequencies and the energies in their environment. See, when you're in a particular environment, your environment is part of you, and you are your environment. Now, dealing with the sound, I'm not sure what those people were doing, but they know for a fact that that noise had some part of a ritual, and they think that a particular sound was played, and it literally destroyed the whole population. So that is actually pretty interesting. Meditation, the sound, itty bitty. Well, hey, what's going on? Yup, that's why most natural healing has to do with sounds and vibrations. And you're exactly right. There's a brother named, and I just did a video the other day called Healing our Broken Kings and Queens, which is going to get very deep. But there's a brother that I had the pleasure of working with, T.C. Carrier. He wrote a couple of books. I have, what, 3 of his books? But the one I'm talking about particularly is called The Secret Science Between Male and Female Sex. Very powerful book. And I'm thinking it has nothing to do, it has, everything to do with sex, but actually it's not. It's talking about the sex genders, the powers between us. But in that book, he talks about what Itty Bitty said. Thank you for making that comment on Instagram. She was, he mentioned that in his book, and he also, he's a healer. He's a spiritual practitioner, and he had this bowl. And I wish I would have bought it while I was in London, but I didn't want to buy it when it was in London because I already had too much stuff on me. And it was already a headache just moving over here. Not moving, but coming back to the States. And they charge you crazy amount of money. So if you ever go to London or any place outside the country, particularly in Europe, do not, I repeat, do not go over your baggage weight. You know what I mean? Because they're going to wax you in pounds, if you're in Europe. But anyway, he had this bowl, and in the bowl he'll beat it with this this brass. It's like a brass, something brass, and when you bang it, it'll shake. It makes this vibrational sound, and you can feel it all over your body. Now he uses this to calm down the environment. And to particularly, mainly to calm the environment down, but also to level out the frequencies in your body. His website is supernatural.com. Anybody want to purchase something like that? But I'm saying these things is because back to what I said in the beginning, your environment. Your environment, it determines everything. So if your home is filled with cursing and rap music, and do yourself a favor, stop listening so much damn rap music. That rap music is killing us, is brainwashing us. You feel me? If you have children and they listen to a lot of rap music, get them to stop and listen to something else. You know what I'm saying? Play some classical, play some gospel, play some even country music, R&B. Get away from all that rap music because those vibrations are interjecting your body with demonic spirits. For example, many of us are Tupac fans, right? Many of us Tupac fans. We love Tupac. We jam Tupac. I'm a big Tupac fan. I've been a Tupac fan from like forever. You know what I'm saying? But not necessarily. I didn't really become a fan until he passed away, and that's how I began listening to his music. But what I realized was when I was listening to Tupac as an adult. Let me rewind for a little bit. I remember clearly when I was in high school. I was in 11th grade, a junior, 1998, at a school called Santa Lucia's, which is in Palm Beach County. I went there for 1 year. I excelled in football and track as a young man. I love sports. I still jog to this day. I don't play football, obviously. I'm a little too old for that. But let that for the young ones. But I remember one time in the living room after football practice, I was listening to Tupac, and my mom was listening. Back when my mom was alive, rest in peace. I miss my mom dearly. True queen. Yeah, true queen. If you read my book, 7 Types of Queen, King Desire, those 7 queens, that was my old girl. And she asked me a question. Not angrily, you know what I mean? She's like, Kevin, why are you listening to this music? Like, you don't hear all the cursing, all the curse words coming out, you know what I'm saying, Tupac's mouth. She didn't know who Tupac was, but she knew we listened to a lot of his music. And it never dawned upon me that, and I respect my mother, and we all my siblings, trust me, you ain't respect my mom, you gonna get a shoe across your head or something. You know what I'm saying? She was sweet, but boy, she was about her business. And I never thought about it, but it was so much cursing in the music, and I didn't pay attention. I'm reciting the songs in my head and verbally into the universe, but I'm not realizing that I was cursing myself and I was cursing my environment and cursing everybody who was in my environment. That's literally what you were doing. So Tupac's music was actually placing curses on the population. You know, people were literally cursing themselves, their families, their communities. Not just Tupac, obviously, but many other rappers. You know what I'm saying? So give a big shout out to people like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Lauryn Hill, those conscious rappers who were putting out positive vibes out there. You know, Tribe Called Quest, you know, Diggable Planets, you know, groups like that who are really putting things out there to edify and not just putting sounds out there to the universe to destroy the population. Now, whether Tupac knew it, whether, you know, Trick Daddy know it, whether Nas, you know, he's a conscious rapper. He put a lot of good things out there. I can't knock him. Jay-Z, you already know what time it is. You know, those two are living legends. But whether they realize it or not, the record labels are in bed with the prison system. As a matter of fact, the top executives in the music business they sit on the same boards as these prisons. You know, so you have something called the prison industrialization complex, which is major, and I had to do a lot of studying about it when I first started the Black on Black Crime Solutions panel, which we do every year. This should be our 5th one. People like Brother Amara was one of our panelists. You know, people like Hood Diesel, Dr. Osgood. We had Pastor, a couple of pastors actually. Forgive me, I can't say their names right now, but Pastor from out of Pompano, Pastor out of Hollywood. Okay, Pastor Harris. We had, man, countless people. There's so many. You know, Queen Nesbitt, Kiana Nesbitt from our Concerned African Women in Miami. We had the public defender, the director of public defenders in Miami-Dade County. Shout out to Mr. Alvarez. I mean, we had support from the Broward County Sheriff's Office. Scott Israel himself was at one of the panels. We had the support and a check. When I say support, check. Believe it or not, while Miami-Dade County sent me a $500 check in support of the event, and also to get advertisement in our brochure. And so I hope to bring that same energy here in Atlanta. But the point I'm trying to say is that these record labels and the prison system, they're together, so they want the music to continue to curse the minds and spirits of our population, our youth population, because they are very receptive to music, if not more than adults. They are like sponge. They absorb that, and for the most part, they're unconscious. They're not consciously thinking about what this music's actually saying and to do. And truth be told, I did a few crimes with Tupac playing in the background, you know, back in the day when I was a cowboy. Them cowboy days are over with. Listen, with the police cameras, with the cameras on every street, with everybody is a reporter or some sort of guru, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of life coach, so everybody's live with their cameras. You're not getting away with nothing no more. Them days we used to get away with back in the 90s, early 2000s, kiss those days goodbye. It does not pay to do crime, but the music is still promoting drive-bys. It's still promoting walk-ups with a gun. It's still promoting robberies. It's still promoting violating our women, our queens. Literally, there's some songs that would literally tell guys to go rape a woman, or to have, you know, to stick their penis in a guy's butt. There's songs actually saying that. You know what I'm saying? I remember, and I can't just put Tupac under the bus like that. And I can, you know, of course, y'all know I'm a Pac fan. I'm a realist. It is what it is. Tupac music, and 90%, if not 95% of the rap music is meant to degrade us, degrade the population, to keep you in some sort of induced state of mind and spirit, and to keep doing drugs. Like, it is a drug. To keep popping pills, Molly's. Future say all the time in all his music, I'm popping this, I'm doing that, I'm on these Molly's. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this with this female. Not just him, even Biggie had a song talking about having sex with little boys. You know what I'm saying? He had a couple songs saying that. So It sounds good, bopping their heads, but these things, and to think of it, it could be the reason why it's so hard to heal, because the same things we're trying to heal ourselves away from is the very same things we're listening to in the music. And some of you have no problem with getting rid of rap music and not listening to it. And I know maybe you don't, because you're grown, you're in the R&B. This is the Mary J. Blige right now, I'm Going Blind. That's playing in the background, which is cool. But we really got to start paying attention to what we allow into our ears, our ear gate, our eye gate, our mouth gate, go in and out. You know what I'm saying? And because all these things impact two of the most important things in our lives, or we won't be functioning: our heart and our mind. There's something called heart energy that it projects, it emits 60 times more electrical circuits than the brain does. So not saying that the heart is more important than the brain, but it's more powerful than the brain. You know, sometimes you hang around certain people and you wonder why you repel against this person's energy. Why do I don't like being around this person? I don't even know this person. I never sent a word or communicate with this person, but I don't like being around this person because their heart is picking up that energy from this person, that they may have some ill will towards you and maybe intending to do something harmful towards you. So you gotta listen to that. But if you're not sensitive to these things, you're not listening to your heart. You know what I'm saying? You're not listening to your intuition, especially our women. Then it's gonna come back to haunt you. A lot of people wear crystals, like me. Like you see, I'm all showing this crystal, but this is a pyrite stone. It's to repel negative energy and attract positive energy. And I've had this stone for quite some time. However, having the stone does not protect me from negative energy. It only emits, it only reciprocates the energy that I project, that I have. So if you have negative energy, if you have demonic spirits controlling your life, controlling your brain, and no idea that you are possessed, then these crystals are going to magnify that negative energy. That's what crystals do. So don't get it twisted, because you are here cursing and doing this and that. And not just because I curse sometimes. I'm not perfect. Not saying because you curse, but if you're out there doing negative things and you thinking, because you got crystals on your hands and beads and you're Afrocentric and saying Wakanda forever, that's going to stop negative things from happening. You're sadly mistaken. This is going to intensify that negativity. Is it going to intensify the negativity or intensify the positive energy that's in your life? So I'm going to talk about these things in my Mastering Your Life class. I cannot wait to start this class. Yeah, I repeat, Mastering Your Life. If you're trying to learn how to balance your energy, if you're trying to learn how to manage your time, how to find your purpose, discover your purpose, if you're trying to understand how to overcome certain things in your life that seems to always be in the way, don't you get it? Every time you have something of significance, something important to accomplish in life, that the enemy is going to do everything in his or her will to stop you. That's why whenever you get prophesied, something negative happens. Something that could literally derail all of your goals, if not take you out, period, by killing you or killing someone close to you. Now, how do you overcome that? You know, things like that we're going to talk about. Because people ask me countless of times, you know, how was I, and you're very welcome, Amar. You know, anytime, brother. You know, you're a good brother, man. Anybody that's positive, you know, you brother to me, man. You family, King. You know what I mean? My army is your army, straight up. From here to Atlanta, to wherever in Africa, Haiti, Jamaica, wherever, brother. Now, people ask me countless of times, how was I able to overcome the adversity that I talk about in my book, The Courage to Believe? I'll bring it up again, this one right here. You know, and we also have a stage play and a stage play documentary, and of course the book. Documentary is coming out soon, really soon. I just got word and from a couple of people I've been waiting on, so we're gonna run it. We're gonna do it. So, but anyway, people ask me, how were you able to overcome that adversity? I'll tell you why and how. One, And by the way, feel free to share this video with your friends. Share this video with your family. Right now, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Twitter, whatever the case may be, definitely feel free to share this with everybody. Let them know King Kevin is live right now on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Well, I wish I was live on YouTube, but that's a whole nother thing. But I definitely want you guys to share this video. Let people know, man, we really got to get back on the spiritual thing. As African people, we are of spiritual people. We are of greatness, not weakness. You follow what I'm saying? We are of greatness, And I remember one thing particularly, when I was in college, and I was facing something that was like unreal. In the middle of getting ready. What's up, Mono? I was literally in the middle of graduating college. The enemy pops up to prevent me from continuing my education and graduating from Florida Atlantic University. And I talk about this in my book. It's a serious, very serious investigation that was going on. You know, some of it had to do with, you know, my mistakes in the past. And a lot of it had to do with the people who was around me. That whole environment thing I was talking about. We're going to talk about how to set up your environment as well. A lot of you don't know that your environment that you're in is conducive for failure. A lot of us don't know that. But I'm going to go over that in the Mastering Your Life class. You understand? So definitely register. We're going to start in October, so please register for the class. I want to start it late September, but definitely by the first week of October, we're running it. But at that time, I had no idea of how many demonic spirits were surrounding me. I can sense them, but I had no idea so many arrows were being shot at me. So many attacks, left, right, from my finances, from my sleeping, from my roof over my head, haters from within my family, from the neighborhood. But then I had a few people who were also praying for me, who were also very supportive and to help me through that situation. You know, I call that in my book, Lion's Den. You know what I'm saying? That's what the chapter's called, Lion's Den. And how did I get out of that? Should I say this on live or should I wait? But I will say this. I kept God first. I kept God first. I reevaluated my life. I reevaluated the situation. And I refused to give up. I refused to be denied my destiny. I understood that my life wasn't just for me. I understood that the future of my family was at stake. Because I'm the first person in my family to graduate college, you know, or even to have the opportunity, or even gotten that close to graduate college. So it was vitally important. It was vitally important that I stayed fast, you know, on task. That I did not vary from it. I was very heavy into praying and just realizing, you know, what was going on. You know, just using discernment, which is very important when you're going through situations like that. Just to make you guys understand, you know, I could have easily be in prison right now. I could easily be serving 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years had that been, you know, up to the criminal justice system of South Florida, who, by the way, Broward County, for God knows how long, is the #1, till this day, the #1 incarcerator of people around the world. They send more people to prison than anywhere around the world. Broward County, which is where I'm from in South Florida. And so you guys, I definitely had to get from out of South Florida. I definitely had to get out of South Florida. There was no doubt about that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely had to get away and be successful. But I truly wanted to break that generational curse in my family. I truly wanted to be the one to do that because of my willpower, understanding who I was. Appreciate it. Daniel in the Hebrew. All right, I got you, Mono. Thanks, man. I had to be the person to break the curse. The question is whether you are the person to break the curse in your family. Whether it's the lack of I remember And I'm just being candid right here. I'm not, nothing is scripted. Everything I'm saying, there's nothing recorded. No kind of organization going on. I'm coming straight from the heart, straight from the spirit. And I'm saying what God has placed in my heart to reveal out to the world. I remember analyzing my family, realizing we have no homes. We own no homes. I mean, maybe now one or two may own a home, but no homes. Didn't own any cars. No business owners. So there's no entrepreneurs. I mean, we hustle here and there. Everybody hustle. You know, you be African, especially you be Haitian. You're gonna grind somehow, some way. Lack of marriages. You feel me? Lack of happy homes. These are the things that in my family I just realized. I looked at it and I wanted something different. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be something different. I wanted to be that game changer. I'm the Joseph of my family, meaning I'm that dreamer. I'm the one who, that overcomer, that overachiever, wanted to do more than what it takes. Because the number one fear I've always had was fear, not of failure, not even fear of death, but fear of poverty. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people starve to death, man. I've seen that with my own eyes, you feel me? I've seen people, what they'll do when they don't have money, when they don't have food. You know what I mean? I seen the ugly things that the world can cause someone to do if they don't have what is needed. And I never want to be that person, you know what I'm saying? I always want to be the kind of man who be there for his family, to be there with my sons and daughters when they're being brought up. I want to be in that same home, because that's not something that I experienced. So you have to be conscious of these things, of these generational curses, and be the one to put a stop to it. You feel what I'm saying? Kind of like a river flowing, right? Imagine a river flowing and nothing but negative energy, negative vibes, bad news. Imagine it's a river of blood on top of that. Death, destruction. But imagine you coming on the scene and you're able to pull this big boulder from the mountain and push it down and let it roll down and stop right there in the middle of the river, meaning there's nothing else flowing to it. Which means that's the end of the curses. That's the end of the heartbreaks. That's the end of the failure. You can be that person to throw that boulder down. You feel what I'm saying? With faith. Because without faith, I'm nothing. Believe me, that I can tell you 1,000,001 stories and 1,000,001 miracles. Some of them I talk about in my first book. I actually talk a lot of them in my first book, The Courage to Believe. But I'm nothing without faith, man. If it wasn't for faith, because faith gave me courage. And so the reason that everything that I do has everything to do with courage and faith is because without faith, there is no courage. Without faith, there's no confidence. So I'm very confident, not just because I'm tall, dark, and handsome, as you all can see. You know what I'm saying? But on the real, my confidence comes from my ability to understand and to accept my power, my God-given powers. And so a lot of us, we don't understand our strength. We don't understand our powers. We don't understand our purpose in life. And therefore, we can't reach our destiny because we don't know our purpose in life. And we're walking around fragmented, not realizing that we have witches in our families. We have warlocks in our families. There's demons in our families. So you have to expel those type of people from your family, whether you got to remove yourself from them or go to war with them, because you're going to have to go to war. A lot of us don't want to get our hands dirty. Now, I'm just talking about war in the physical realm, picking up guns and swords and all of that, which would be pretty cool. But I'm talking about more in the spiritual realm, you know, praying, lighting the incense. You know, I usually have an incense lit up in my office. I guess it's out right now, but you know what I mean? I always keep this thing, incense on deck. You know what I mean? Lighting up the incense, burning some sage if you have to. You know what I mean? Not just praying aimlessly, but praying with a focus. You know, knowing exactly what you want. You may not even know what you're being attacked by. God will reveal that to you. You know what I mean? Anything and everything I've ever needed and wanted, God has provided. Anything and everything, time after time, the Creator has provided. Has always provided. Always provided. Everything. Nothing missing, nothing lacking. An abundance of love and favor. Abundance of it. And you just have to walk knowing that. Walk and talk knowing that no matter where you go, what battle you're facing, that God has your back. Say it after me. As a matter of fact, I want you guys to type it in the description if you're listening. God has my back. What's up, Annette? God has my back, and my front, and my side to side, my top and my bottom, surrounded with angels, guardian angels. Now, Dr. Ashamuka Barashango, and if you've listened to enough of my videos, there's two names I always mention. You already know. Dr. B, Dr. Ashamuka Barashango, sometimes Dr. Shianta Diop, and of course Dr. Ms. Wilson, or even Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. The name go on and on, but I always mention Dr. Barashango. And he talked about in the book, The African Woman, the Original Guardian Angel, which was heavily quoted in my book, 7 Types of Queen's King Desire. He talks about how the soldiers, you know, not just soldiers, but people in general, that they had the consciousness of God protecting them, and that God was sending, or has sent, or has been sending angels to protect and fight for us when we're fighting a righteous cause. You follow what I'm saying? If you're fighting for your future, you're fighting for your children, you're fighting for your marriage, God's going to send some angels to fight for you on your behalf where you can, especially in the spiritual realm, because whatever happens in the physical, it has already happened in the spiritual. Be mindful of that. The people in your life, they're either going to bring blessings into your life or they're going to bring curses to your life. It's a matter of understanding which one do they bring. Are they bringing curses or are they bringing blessings? I surround myself with people that are bringing blessings. So I speak victory upon your life. I speak prosperity and abundance of love. I speak forwardness in your life. I speak success in your life. And I'm saying these things because not just for you and you and you, but I'm saying it to be a blessing to myself as well. So when you speak, don't just speak because you to the people that you're talking to directly, but speak to their spirits as well. Purposely speak to someone's spirit. Purposely speak to your own spirit. You know, there's going to be some times you're going to need some encouragement. There's plenty of times where I need encouragement. There's hundreds of times I've needed encouragement. And you have to be able to encourage yourself. Be a blessing to yourself. Be blessed to be a blessing. Not just to say it, but actually be a blessing to others. Look out for somebody else. These are the things you have to do. Like Booker T. Washington said, and it's quoted on my Instagram, at Courage to Believe. So if you're not following me at Instagram, definitely, you know, follow me at Courage, #2, Believe. The quote is, if you want to be lifted up, lift up someone else. That's all. It's that simple. If you think for a second, volunteering, doing community service, assisting someone who you obviously see that needs your help, and I'm not talking about family and friends, I'm talking about strangers. If you think that stuff means nothing, you are sadly mistaken. When you are volunteering